go. Alright. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our newest episode of the SFS, or Gaming Diaries podcast, whichever one is going to be starting the new name.
Game Diaries.
Yeah, Game Diaries podcast. It has been a couple weeks since we last left off.
I've been fucking bitches.
So have I. That's probably been busy. But a lot of shit has gone down in the past couple of weeks. Mighty Number 9 has come out. We've had that CSGO scandal that we might touch on a little bit. Pokemon Go has come out, and everybody is outside for once.
Yeah, they're trying to get the nerds to work out. It's a conspiracy. I can tell you. Conspiracy. This is Jostar, and my boy Wolf right next to me. And I'm about to give you the news.
And just go over things that have happened and give our opinion.
Alright, so which one of us wants to start off?
Well, it depends.
Let's start with Mighty Number 9. It's the earliest.
Well, do we want to talk about just things in general, or do we want to talk about what we've been doing first? Let's just do. What have you been playing lately?
What have I been playing lately? Overwatch, One Piece Burning Blood, Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
It finally came out? How about you talk about that, because I want to hear your opinions of it. Oh, that phase is...
Okay, let me put it like this. They gave us fun as all hell, yes?
All right.
But it's got that light novel based anime feel to it. Oh. AKA feels like I'm walking into the world of like Sword Art Online. And you already know how I feel about trash or shit taste online.
Oh, indeed.
AKA, let me put it like this. The main character can't be any more blank canvas.
Oh.
It's a Shin Megami Tensei crossover with Fire Emblem with no Shin Megami Tensei in the game.
So,
aside from a little bit of references. The choices that your character makes, speech-wise, have no effect on the game whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just put it like this. Every single character, except for Barry Goodman, I hate. Like, personality and the things they say and the things they do, I hate them all.
Even Tiki?
Yes. Oh. Tiki's just been reduced to nothing but a Vocaloid to craft weapons.
Oh, no,
Who calls you Oni-chan all day?
So is the main character a new character, or is it somebody that's already been there?
Everybody's what do you mean?
Like, is it an original character that they made?
All the characters are original characters that they made, except for the Mirages, who are Fire Emblem characters.
Oh. From
Shadow Dragon and Awakening only.
Oh, okay.
There's no other Fire Emblem characters that are, from any of the other games. It's specifically Shadow Dragon and Awakening.
Well,
there are no SMT characters whatsoever. Hell, even the shop owner is Anna.
Oh. I mean, I love Anna, but having her be the shopkeeper for, I think it's supposed to be mainly SMT as well?
Yeah, I guess you could call its gameplay similar. It's got the SMT bullshit that happens when it comes to a fight.
Oh, you don't know anything about it? You gotta keep hitting them with every element attack
pretty much. But there's another problem I have with this game, though. The leveling up is Fire Emblem.
Oh.
So all characters have specific growth rates, which means they all have a specific way of leveling up, and you cannot change or alter the way any character is played, including the one you have to be forced to control, who is forced to be a Marth clone in stats with high speed. But no good magic. Mind you, one of his primary skills is a magic skill, but it deals low damage because he's got no magic. And Chrom is basically Izanagi.
Oh. So
lightning skills.
So it's almost like a reskinned Persona, almost.
The way combat works, yes. However, I hate growth rates. Mm-hmm. Being a big fan of SMT and being able to put my stats specifically on the character that I'm playing as, I want to be able to control how I fight with him. If I want to use magic on my main character, I don't see why I shouldn't be able to, because his magic stat is ass. And I have to be forced to only have, what is it, 3? The worst part is it only has 3 people on a party.
3? Oh, no.
Yeah, you're restricted to 3 people in a party at a time. There's like, 6 playable characters, but it's 3 people per party. So it's like, oh, you gotta have the main character. So technically you can only choose 2 of your cast members at a time. And so you're gonna always have Kyria on the team because she's the only she's the only offensive magic primary character. And then, let's be honest, you're going to be forced to have Tsubasa on the team because she's the healer. And that's it. Sometimes you'll switch casting out specifically for boss fights. Because all the weaknesses work like not Persona, Fire Emblem. Like how, I think swords beat axes, axes beat spears, and spears beat swords.
Right.
And that's how weaknesses work. And then all the enemies are based off of Fire Emblem classes. So each class has its own specific weakness. Like how Pegasus Knights are weak to air attacks in Fire Emblem. Anyone?
Yep, just got a little snack. But
yeah, the game, story-wise, is pretty It's just the world is being attacked by these mirages who don't kill people. They just take them away and possess them and make them depressed. And other than that, though, the gameplay is fun. And of course, the soundtrack was going to be great. I hate the way it looks, though. Because there's no shadows in the game.
Right.
As in, none of the character models have any shadow. And it's censored to all hell with no playable swimsuits. Rest in peace, America.
So,
6 out of 10.
Alright. Now, other games that you said the other games were Overwatch, Burning Blood. Anything else at all?
Mighty number 9. I played a little bit of that.
Alright, so then you can bring that up when we're talking about Mighty number 9 because I've seen a good amount of gameplay about it. But
I beat it twice now.
What I've mainly been playing, I've been playing a lot of World of Warcraft because Legion comes out in about a month. Pre-patch should be coming out this coming up Tuesday on the 19th. I'm very excited, especially because I am a big fan of the lore. A lot of people are like, oh, raiding or PvP is where it's at. I just want to go through a story. So I got all these different characters, every class, and each individual spec gets their own specific weapon from lore that goes with their class, and I just find it fantastic. So so when that
speaking of that
pops up, it's gonna be fantastic.
I forgot to mention that I've also been playing God Eater.
Oh,
because I pre-ordered God Eater 2 Rage Burst coming out on the 30th.
That sounds nice.
Can't wait for that. Sight to the shit.
But other than that, I have actually played 2 different games. One is another MMO that goes by the name of actually 3 games. One is another MMO that I tried out while I was on its update period when I couldn't log in. It goes by the name of Riders of Icarus. It's I guess it's close to like Aeon Online, but
that phone game?
No, Aeon it's another MMO game that you can get on Steam. But the one of the biggest appeals about Riders of Icarus, or one of its biggest differences between others, is that pretty much any creature that can possibly be ridden can be tamed, and you can ride, and you can even fight alongside them, which is very interesting. I've only played about an hour into it, and while the combat is fairly basic for current MMOs, but the idea of being able to fight alongside your mounts was something that I was very interested in doing in like World of Warcraft, and it's definitely been something that I might check a little bit more out. Another one? Well, the other 2 are games that I think that we should at least check out on this channel. One goes by the name of Hyperdimension Neptunia.
No.
Why not?
No.
I
I hate that game series.
Really?
It's just too many. It's like they come out with 2 games a year. Is how I feel. Like, you know how people say they make a new Call of Duty every year? I feel like this game literally comes out twice a year.
But it's by the same people that do Fairy Fencer F.
Yeah, but I hate this game. I played it.
Oh. But you
I
like
played Mega Dimension as well.
But you at least like Fairy Fencer, right?
Fairy Fencer is fun as hell.
Yeah, but I do have to say I you might not like it, but I at least enjoy. I
like
it's
the
got
concept behind it.
It's got a lot.
It's like console wars.
Yeah, it is the personification of console wars, but it throws in the Sega Neptune, which was announced in like 1998, but never came out.
You know, it's like I like it, like the concept behind it, but I hate the actual game itself, with its extremely frequent frame rate drops.
I haven't had any problem.
And all this other crap that happens, I hate the story. I hate all the character personalities. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's just like Moe. It's like if you want a Moe RPG, you'll play it.
But that's what I wanted, so that's why I got it.
We know you like you some cute girls. We know it.
Speaking of cute girls,
that's why I chose Pokemon Go.
We have another game that goes by VA11 Hall A. Or Valhalla, Cyberpunk Bartender Action.
That art style looks pretty nice, though.
Yes, it is. It is mainly it's like a 8-bit style game, but it's like more detailed. It's about like Chrono Trigger detailed, I would say. But pretty much it's a visual novel-like game. But instead of dialogue choices, because you are the bartender, you have to give them certain drinks. But there are times when you're allowed to like mix up the drinks. You can make them alcoholic or non-alcoholic, and depending on what drinks you give them, changes the course of a conversation. And not only that, there are things that go around, that revolve around, or that happen around the city that you're in. Because this is supposed to be like a third world kind of city in the year 2069. There's a lot of the things that have been going on, and you're just a person that hears about all this stuff that goes on, but you never get involved in it. That's just something that is a bit interesting to me, because
so it's basically
there's a lot of stuff.
It's a world building game.
Yeah, it's a world building game. You don't get to be part of anything, but because you're the bartender. Bartenders are usually somebody that hear a lot of information, just talk with people. You get to hear a lot about things that have been going on in the story. But there's also things that happen to your main character as well, who is also a female. Also, the best part is the one of the main male roles is constantly referred to pretty much just fuckboy John. So I think we might make a video of that, like 30 minutes. It shouldn't be that much of a problem. I did go through the game once, but just because of how the conversations can change, I do think that this has some good replayability. It is about 8 hours long, because it says I played for 8 hours, and I've only played through the entire game with nonstop in one sitting. It was pretty good. And they do advertise it as like a waifu game, but you don't really choose somebody to date, sadly. It was more of a joke. But I mean, I do like a lot of the people that come by.
You understand? I need waifus, man. I need them.
The main character is a waifu to me. They drink a lot of beer.
That doesn't make them a waifu. Is she hot?
Yeah, she's about average.
Damn it. You mean like May?
Nah, but we'll see more about that. But that's what I've been playing. So let's get into the news. You said you want to start with Mighty Number Disappointment.
I wasn't disappointed. I'm just going to start off by saying that much.
Mm-hmm.
For me, everybody was disappointed from what other people were saying about the game before playing it themselves. And see, I played the game. The first few things I could debunk for you right now, when other people will tell you that all the powers were useless and didn't help, they're lying. They clearly just didn't use them.
I don't care
know how to play the game. And it's like, for Mega Man games, you use powers to make boss fights easier, as well as getting over certain platforming sections or dealing with certain enemy types. And Mighty Number 9 did that fine. Now, there is a problem with the whole dash system, and how its air dash is infinite. It makes the platforming easier, of course. So that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's used to be a combo mechanic. But in all honesty, I never felt like I had a point where I could just rush through and combo things like they made it seem like the game was intended to do. Mm-hmm. Where you could just like basically chain combo things together. Because enemies, in all honesty, felt pretty spread apart, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. The game cut out one of the main songs that I actually wanted to hear, which is the menu theme. Mm-hmm. The whole song was never in the game. The story was, it's okay. It's simple. It's okay. It's not bad. It's just simple. I hated the fact it's in 3D, but it actually doesn't look half that bad. I didn't experience any of like the game breaking glitches or the system crashes that other people were talking about. That might have affected the way I see it. I just liked all the small details though that they did put into the game. Like with his gun, for example. How it would have like the energy come from his arm and then up through the buster. And I just thought that was really cool. I will admit that I didn't use the buster half the time I played the game. I actually didn't, to be honest. My favorite power, of course, was probably the bomb. Mm-hmm. It's like Crash Bomber, in a sense. I thought the game was good. The game's music it could be hit and miss, in my opinion, because there are like 3 good songs that I can like listen to right off the bat. But then the rest of them are just like background noise that I could care less about, to be honest.
Right.
And the multiplayer, I didn't try it out. Because who plays Mega Man for multiplayer? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like nobody thought the game was... Nobody thought the game was supposed to be a multiplayer game. Nobody thought it was going to be necessary to put multiplayer aspects into the game at all. So there's that. The DLC character is really cool. It's like a mode where you constantly have to kill things or you're gonna die.
Yes, like I've heard people describe it as like a hard mode character.
Yeah, pretty much with a Sonic the Hedgehog type spin dash thing going on as his dash. Well, her dash. It's a her. And overall, I think Mighty Number 9, in all honesty, isn't as bad as everybody is saying it is. They're saying it's the most disappointing game of 2016 is because their expectations were set really high. But they did that to themselves though. The people who made the game, Keiji Inafune and his group, he put our expectations really high. So I can admit that yes, it is extremely disappointing. However, disappointing and bad aren't the same thing, in my opinion. You could be disappointed, but that doesn't mean the game is exactly bad. The problem with the game is it's not what everybody else wanted. And I honestly do think that half the flack that it's getting, it came from a lot of the delays it got. In all honesty, that's how I personally feel. I feel like a lot of the flack that it got came from the fact that people were mad at it for all the waiting and all the drama that happened that pushed back the release of this game. Mm-hmm. And this is from me playing the game. I beat it twice now. I like playing as Call, how she has like her sneak sessions, basically. It's like kind of like playing Metroid Zero Mission when you have the Zero suit on.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know, I just enjoyed it. I like the. My problem is like other people complain about the game's difficulty and how it can be extremely hard or unfair. I'm just like, that's Mega Man. You said you wanted a Mega Man successor. When has Mega Man not been known for difficulty?
But this is not a real Mega Man successor to a lot of people, just because of how many gameplay mechanics of Mega Man they've taken out. You can't even wall jump.
Wait a minute, but you see, that's where you stand in the wrong. That's not a Mega Man mechanic. It's a Mega Man special. It's an X mechanic. That was given to you specifically for the X series of games. But nobody complained when Mega Man 9 and 10 went back to classic Mega Man 1, no charge shot, no wall bouncing, just jump and shoot, man. You don't need wall bounce mechanics to be a Mega Man game. It still has the air dash and the dash mechanics within the game. It still has you beat a boss and you get powers.
But of course, that goes by your also your argument of that's not Mega Man exclusive.
Well, that is a Mega Man exclusive though. What I'm saying is like getting powers. I'm saying like getting powers and stuff and using them for stages. That'll be a Mega Man exclusive. But the dashing mechanic isn't. That was Mega Man X as well, unless you count Mega Man and Base, in which playing as Base allowed you to dash.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Base also had a double jump. Yeah, he had a double jump, and he could shoot in all 8 directions. Base was easy mode, but yeah, they say it's not a Mega Man spiritual successor because of its lack of certain Mega Man mechanics, but at the same time, I haven't found any real Mega Man mechanics that weren't in the game. One-hit death spikes, leaps of faith that you don't know where to go, and it could either turn out to be a cliff or it could be an actual place that you're supposed to be going. There's secret pathways, and there's another thing that I really liked about the game is that if you beat the bosses and took the bosses to the specific stages, they would actually help you on that stage. Like, they would actually be there and go around and do things and get rid of like certain things that you would have had to deal with if they weren't there.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought that was extremely cool. Some of the stages were extremely unique, like going through the Capitol building while trying to find a sniper. I like that stage. And I like the stage where the sword guy is cutting down traffic.
The hallway, from a lot of the playthroughs that I've seen of it, I would not be able to stand that hallway because it is just one of the most repetitive things I've ever seen in my life.
Well, there's a trick to it that I figured out on the second playthrough.
But nobody's going to figure that out until that second playthrough then.
Yeah, or unless you die and then have to start over.
The first playthrough is what's most important. The second playthrough does not mean anything.
That's not entirely true at all. A lot of people's second playthrough just comes from I want to go through this a certain type of way. Like, basically, a lot of people who played Mega Man again played it again because, I wanted to do this better. Or I wanted to do this faster. I wanted to see this special pathway. Or I wanted to figure out what order I was supposed to fight the boss.
But here's the thing. Out of all the people that I've seen play Mario number 9, nobody wanted to play a second playthrough.
Yeah, but that's another thing. There's a difference between seeing and playing. And that's where my point comes in is I played the game twice and I enjoyed it.
But not a lot of people played the game once and still didn't enjoy it.
But also they went in disappointed already.
No.
That is true. A lot of people were disappointed because of its release timing, because of the drama that was going behind it, because, backers didn't get their bonuses. Like, I didn't get my bonus, and I can argue now that the credits of the game are longer than the game itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the 3.5 credit roll with all the backers in there. Mind you, I'm going to say at least 40% of those names are anonymous backer because I guess they just didn't put their name in there.
Yep.
But, sitting through that was just... I literally turned off the TV and then, left. And then came back from dinner and it was still going. So I was just like, okay. The credits were a little too much. And graphically, a lot of people will say it looks like trash. I think it looks fine, but the particle effects and everything that isn't,
do you not remember from the very beginning when
that's really bad?
Yeah, the explosions themselves were stock explosions.
Yeah, those things were terrible. No. The explosions especially were terrible. Now, there was one really useless power, and that was the fire guy's power.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, that kind of just explodes around him.
Mm-hmm.
He just kind of blows up, and you have to hold the button, but you don't know how long you don't get any like indication that the attack is charging. Mm-hmm. And it just blows up. He just blows up. It's kind of a stupid ass power. It's really fucking useless in all honesty. I didn't use it to fight the ice guy. To be honest, I just used the gun. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I'm going to say I was disappointed in it, but I will not say that it is a terrible game. However,
a lot of people will.
However, I will say that if you look at its price point, it is a disappointment, not just because of its release, but because of how they have handled the game, and just because of how they have spent their money. They raised almost $4 million, correct?
Yeah, it was 3.9.
Inafune admitted he spent only 60% of that for $2.4 million.
That's why the advertisement was
and he got money from other companies to help produce this game.
Yeah, especially since it's clear that he basically sold out, essentially, when producing the game. When you see other producers on the game.
Now here's the thing. Looking at this game,
it's not an indie game.
I would not look... This looks like it's an indie game. But this does not look like a $2.4 million game.
It isn't, though. I mean, there's games like Dust that only got like 800,000, and that game looks like one of the best 2D drawing games I've ever played, in all honesty.
I don't remember exactly what game it was, but there was a game that only cost $10,000 to make. It was voted one of the best games for like 3 months straight. I forgot what it was, though. But there are several amount of things. Like I want to know what happened to that $1.6 million of backer money.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about that.
I want to understand why they could not promise. Why with all that money they could not put in all the features that they promised from the Kickstarter.
Yeah, like I find it funny that
I want to know why they could not make their
DLC character and they made us pay $5 for him.
I do not understand why with $2.4 million they could not even make their mouths move. I don't care.
They had a shitty animator.
They didn't even. I don't care if they were even out of sync. I just wanted them to move, and they couldn't even do that.
They didn't blink either, to be fair.
And I'm sorry, but I may be a little bit SJW on this, but I hated their choices of names because it's supposed to be like how they had rock and roll, right?
It's beck and call.
Yeah, beck and call. You know what that's usually used for? Servants. They're pretty much saying that these two robots are servants to these humans. But here's also the thing. They gave the female robot the name Call. She's a robot call girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Meaning that she is almost pretty much a sex robot. They pretty much flat out puts that in the game.
I mean, like, she's not a sex robot. It's not what she does at all. I mean, she's just
We don't know that.
She's a data bot.
We don't know that entirely, though. We don't see what happens while we're on the mission.
She's talking to you on the mission.
Pre-recordings.
Oh, I guess that could be a thing.
But I mean, here's another
Sometimes
thing.
I find it funny, though, when I played a mission and the character, like, the doctors would act like they're actually fucking there. And I'm like, wait a minute. Why are you scared that there's a blackout on the stage that I'm in, but you're not here? Like, that one guy would just freak out about everything.
In the first stage, you have this big cutscene to introduce the thing. It's like, okay, alright. Okay, let's move to the next screen.
In the current era.
Next screen. Another cutscene about, it's a robot that's gone rogue. I know you don't want to do this. Just let me shoot him. I'm playing this game so I can shoot robots. Do not make this a big
what I hated, though, is I hated how the main doctor who made Beck was like, what, did you just absorb the cells of another robot? Oh, wait, of course I designed you. I was like, then why the fuck did you ask?
Now, another thing has to do with after you beat the first or second boss of your choosing. Exactly why would they do it so that you can be told what is the best weapon for this stage? What happened to being able to play this over and over to find out the best weapon? Why did they take that out?
What do you mean?
If you say if you beat the...
Oh, you're talking about the advice.
Yeah.
Oh, when you can see whichever robot master talks to you.
You beat the...
Basically, that's the one.
You beat the electric girl, and the first boss that you beat is the electric girl, right? You get her power. And I'm just saying as an example because this is what I saw from one guy's playthrough. Oh. You beat her first. Then you go through and you have the stage select. You just look through all of them. And then you go to the last one, which is the hallway. And it's the only one that says advice. And you're like, why does this one say advice? And it's like, maybe if this girl helps you out, then you'll be able to have an easier time. It's like, why would you tell me this? Now I am already in the progression order because I beat the sniper guy. And now I know what stage to go to next because the next stage that opens up with advice, I'll be able to beat with them.
Yeah, pretty much.
They get rid of their being able to figure it out.
I mean, but technically, you don't have to pay attention to that.
But here's the thing.
I kind of didn't.
Here's the thing. That was one of the things that people liked about Mega Man.
Well, the thing is, like I said, you don't have to pay attention to that. Because there's one thing that I know about a lot of people is that a lot of people don't look through a 9 times out of 10. A lot of people are going to play the game and not look at the menus. A lot of times they don't. Like, for example, I played the game, and when I hit a stage, I'm just pressing A. Until they stop talking.
But that's
because I didn't care about what they were saying, because the story was subpar.
But like I'm saying, that is just like that was you, though.
Yeah, I'm saying,
you cannot say that for everybody.
I'm saying, from what I've also seen, is most people just don't.
What I've seen from most people is that they do, though.
I mean, like you said, one playthrough.
I said that I've seen multiple playthroughs. I gave an example from one playthrough
of the guy just looking at the menus.
Of a guy playing through the game, and he saw it because he wanted to see the other kinds of stages, and he saw this one kind of stage that said advice on it.
That's what I'm saying. It's like one guy out of like a million, however many people bought this game. 9 times out of 10, that's gonna be one of those details that they ignore. Because in a Mega Man game or this type of game, they're going to ignore a majority of the menu. They ignored the player tips, for example, when you look at the tips, after I beat my first playthrough, I decided to look at the tips, and it actually told me a lot of things that I just couldn't figure out by playing the game. Like, for example, he has an action shot, apparently, and some kind of like invincibility evasion jump. That if you hold like R1 and then you press like square or X, he'll like jump backwards and shoot downwards at an angle. And I had no idea that happened. It also taught me other things about the powers that I was using. For example, I didn't know how to use the firepower. I was just like, why does this shit suck so bad?
Yeah, but I honestly don't want to talk too much about Mario number 9. This has already been half an hour. Yeah. We still got a few other things. But just to wrap my feelings of the result of my number 9 is I think this shows that Inafune is a businessman first and a video game designer second.
Most people are now, to be honest.
If he ever makes a Kickstarter, I do not think that we should support him anymore because he has shown that we cannot trust him with our money.
I don't think he's going to be doing a Kickstarter anymore. Maybe that 40% of that he didn't spend was fallback money.
But then why?
That's $1 million.
Here's the thing: after that Kickstarter ended, he still put up several Kickstarters. You know.
Yeah, he's been. The problem with Mighty Number 9 is he's been working on so many other projects at the same time as well, and that's a big no-no. Which means we don't know how much money he actually has from all of us poor fans who've been pouring money into Kickstarters. If he only spent 60% of Mighty Number 9, he's got $1 million from that alone.
I mean, even looking at the game, I'm almost starting to doubt that he even put 60% of that money.
Yeah, that might just be him doing damage control.
He might at most, I would say that this was a $500,000 game.
He said it's better than nothing. He actually said that.
Not him.
Somebody,
one of their PR guys
said that it's better than nothing. I was like, but even still, that's his team. His team outright basically knows that this game isn't what it was supposed to be.
His team knows that they did a shit job.
It was like, what kind of he needed a better animator.
He needs we need somebody else to make a better game, because look, if I had a choice between getting Azure Striker Gunvolt 2 and Mighty Number 9 right now, Gunvolt 2, I enjoyed the first one a lot more than what I've seen from Mighty Number 9, and it's definitely going to be a lot cheaper for the second one because it'll only be $15.
And I enjoyed Gunvolt a hell of a lot too, to be honest. When he let me play it, it just gave me, first of all, that soundtrack.
The soundtrack is amazing.
Yes. NT Creates, you did it again. And that's the sad part. NT Creates did the soundtrack for Mighty Number 9. And I can honestly say that I only like 3 songs. Mm-hmm. One song, which is not even in the game at release anymore. Mm-hmm. And that's a damn shame. Because there's not a song I can say I don't like in Gunvolt. There's not a song I can say I don't like in Mega Man ZX or the Zero games. I like those games' music.
But you can say there are several songs that you do not like.
I hate Mighty Number 9's music except for 3 songs.
Alright. So, what's our next subject that we want to talk? I mean, there was a CSGO Lotto, but do we really need to do anything? I mean, those are big YouTubers.
It's been going today, so
yeah, you just learned about it.
I mean, you can briefly say something on it at least.
I mean, honestly, it doesn't concern us, but it does make me question about what the future of gaming industries will hold now.
Because it's like everybody just wants your money.
It's not just
deception.
Not just gaming, but it's also for just YouTube in general. Because we're trying to start at least get our foot in the door for just the gaming industry, and the best way to do that is doing video games. We want to talk about our ideas. We want to look at different video games. We want to experience things with other people online to get their opinions. But how you do that is by making something and falsifying your information just so that you can get money. That's not what we want to do anymore. That's just that's
scandalous.
It's not what we want to do. It's not what we want to see on this website that we not only are participating in, but are wanting to get into. It's just it really makes me just question of if this is even a good idea at this point.
Yeah, it's just like there's so many people just taking advantage of the industry, taking advantage of people who don't know any better. It's just like getting away with. My problem with YouTube is that, like, honestly, a lot of YouTubers get away with so much illegal shit that's not even funny. And my problem with, like, game developers now is they only care about filling their pockets, even if they're already filled to the brim. Mm-hmm. Like, I never understood, the concept of, these big YouTubers needing to fill their pockets even more than they already got. You know what I'm saying? And then I never understood the concept of a game designer having access to all these funds and then delivering you half a game and feeding you the rest of its content that, hell, could be on the disc, Mortal Kombat, but could be on the disc and still make you have a paywall for it. I'm pretty sure NetherRealm Studios doesn't need the extra money, but they're selfish. And the character that should have been in the game is now behind a paywall.
Yeah, I mean, the only person that... No, I mean, the only thing that I can think of that kind of can get away with that are, like, some of the big YouTubers, like PewDiePie. Like, he has 40 million subscribers. Why does he need to keep making videos if he's probably already made enough money? Because he's entertaining people. It's entertainment at that point. It's not just him playing a video game. But then you have people like RiceGum and FouseyTube, who created all this drama that are getting all of this traffic towards them, making them tons of money, and they're just have you heard all about this?
Nope.
Okay, so pretty much FouseyTube and RiceGum at VidCon, pretty much what went on was there a video where the two confronted each other, and they tried to make it look like RiceGum had hit FouseyTube, right? However, a lot of the news channels that report on YouTube news, because I mean, a lot of people don't really like it because they say that it's drama. But it's news to show you about what's going on with the big YouTubers. It's what we have for TV, but we have it on YouTube instead now.
Because it's more entertaining.
Right. So pretty much, it's like everybody is freaking out. They're saying there's a whole big fight, but the big news reporters that are like Scares, Drama Alert, and I forgot the third one, but they're reporting on it, and they're like, oh, we definitely think that it's fake just because of certain, like, because he pushed him before he hit him. Why would he show this video of him doing something illegal because it's assault? And then FuzzyTube has the nerve to make a video saying how he deceived them and how easy it was to make drama, even though it was completely made clear by them that they thought it was fake, that they were saying that it was fake to them. That's not deceiving them. That's them just trying to say, oh, I got you good, this is how easy it is to make drama. You're making more drama by doing this, though. And that's what YouTube is becoming. It's becoming a drama. It's becoming
TV. Because that's what people want on TV. They want drama.
And what I want from YouTube is, I do want entertainment that I can't get from television. I want people that are real. I want people to be playing. I want people to be entertaining, but I still want them to be real. I don't want them to be acting.
But that's the biggest problem, though.
Because that's
the thing is, all the real people probably only have like 1,000 subs, maybe a couple hundred subs, and that sucks.
We're real, and we have 2 right now. We have 2, and we're trying to be the realest that we can be.
Well, I don't have to try to be real. I'm always 100. To be honest, that's how we are. Is though we just tell us what it is. The problem is everybody wants drama.
The only thing fake about us is our aliases. Because why would anybody call themselves? Why would anybody be named Jostar or Wolf? We just don't want to give our real
Wolf
names.
Wolf would be a pretty cool name to have. People like the name Snake.
Yeah.
And Fox.
Yeah. But I don't want to I don't want to go around and be like, hey, my name's Wolf. Maybe at VidCon, if we ever get that far. I don't think we can, though.
Yeah.
At the rate of YouTube,
no need to put us down like that.
Hey, at this point, I would be perfectly happy with 1,000 people.
Same, to be honest, as long as you get some kind of audience.
I don't care about subscribers, just like 1,000 people to at least watch at one point. Just doesn't have to be a common occurrence. Just one video have 1,000 views. That would make me so happy.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. It'd be rad, in all honesty. But you know what? We'll just keep moving. Just keep trying to catch the attention.
Now, anyways, we had another topic: Pokemon Go.
Oh yes, Pokemon Go. Man, that crap is
aka
insane.
Pokemon Go outside.
Yep, that big conspiracy to get nerds moving. Get out the house and go catch you some Pokemon.
And possible marketing campaign. But
yeah, most likely. Most likely.
It's fun.
The game is fun. Let's just put it like that. People thought it wasn't gonna work, and it works.
Yeah, people.
Of course, you found the crazy shit happening, like the person who found a dead body.
That was fake.
Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. You got people putting down lures on purpose and then hiding out and then robbing people.
I've seen that. And you got it started. Turf wars.
You got the Holocaust Museum incident.
Fuck team, whatever you're on is like if you're a Valor, you're getting a lot of hate just because like one person had a bad experience, and now everybody acts like Team Valor is trash. Or if you're Team Valor and you're hating on Mystic because they're big. Yeah. That's about it.
It's either you're on Team Valor getting hate from Team Mystic, you're on Team Mystic getting hate from Team Valor, or you're on Team Instinct and you're just sitting in the corner eating glue.
That's savage.
But honestly, I honestly think that these team things just...
I thought the team thing was unnecessary, to be honest.
But
it did add another aspect to the game.
It adds an aspect, but however... Is it a good aspect? I do not think so.
Me either, to be honest. I don't think so either.
I mean, I think there's already like been Reddit posts of how people who like got Pokemon Go in like the middle of the night when it was released, and then they go to school like on Monday because it came out over like a weekend. They go to school or whatever. They meet up with their friends on Monday, and like, what team do you get? Mystic? He's like, I'm on Valor, and then they just fight. I don't know. It could be possible.
Probably. I just think, honestly though, if you haven't tried it, if you have a smartphone, Android or iPhone, sorry Windows people.
But there is a petition currently online for it to get out, and Microsoft did, or it was either Vyvanse or Microsoft made an announcement of how of a post about it getting on Windows phones, but they did not say anything specific. So there is a possibility of them being in development.
Yeah, in all honesty though, it's super fun. If you haven't tried it, try it out. And just go out and catch them all.
Definitely.
Right. So what do we got next on the plate? We got what?
Has anything happened in the past couple of weeks?
I mean, we got the Overwatch character reveal.
Yeah.
And those new buffs and patches and whatnot.
Yeah, but honestly, I mean, Overwatch is fun and all, but just at the point, I think I'm starting to get off my high of Overwatch. Like, it's still fun. I'll play it every now and then, but it's just becoming a regular game. It's not like something that's like I want to play all the time anymore.
Yeah, a lot of people are really addicted to the game because of its simplicity, but at the same time, skill cap, I guess. But without crossplay, for me in particular, playing it on PlayStation 4, for example, it's just hard to play with friends, for example. Mm-hmm. They need to hurry up and implement crossplay so that I can play with all my friends, because I got like one person to play Overwatch with.
The only problem that I can see with it is that I do think that a lot of computer or PC players will have a big advantage over.
Well, the thing is, I'm not thinking crossplay with PC. I'm just thinking crossplay with the consoles.
Fair enough.
Because it would be a totally unfair fight to play PC versus console.
Right.
That is, unless the PC players specifically were using a controller to play the game.
But I don't think that they can I'm not even sure if that would be a system that they could make sure is that if your entire team is using a controller, then you can hook up with console players. But at
least put Xbox One and PlayStation 4 together. That is something I'm waiting for. The crossplay between Xbox One and PS4 needs to happen. Mm-hmm. In all honesty. Because like everybody I know is playing on Xbox One. Mind you though, they're all scrubs because...
Or isn't it out on PS3 or anything?
No. It's just next gen and PC.
Alright.
At this point, PS3 games are done, with the exception of Persona 5 for some reason coming out on PS3 next year. Which is kind of odd, but at the same time, I think that's cool.
I mean, the thing about these next-gen consoles is that I think that they might have been out for a while, but I think that the price point was a little bit too high.
I think that the price for them are still a little in the high range.
I mean,
especially after the admitting of their inferior tech.
I mean, they've been out for almost a year, almost 2 years, maybe.
What, PlayStation 4 in them?
Yeah,
it's like what, 3 or 4?
Yeah, and we're still calling them next gen because not everybody has one.
Yeah, and it's because that price point is still freaking $300 plus for a PlayStation 4.
Right.
And it's just like,
well,
damn.
When when the PS3 came out, it was like, what, $250? But it quickly went down to $200, and then I got mine for like maybe $150.
Yeah, I picked up mine for $150 as well.
Yeah. And now I still go to a store and even used it's the same cost.
$300 something.
Yeah,
I think it's $330 for used, and then it's like almost $400.
And then you want a special edition that comes with one game that's about $60. You have to pay almost an extra $100.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just
like, oh yeah, you want Uncharted 4?
Here's an extra $100. sure they give you a couple items, but the items that they have included may be special edition, but they're not going to be worth $40 to get that extra bump of 100 with the added game and extras.
Yeah.
Drink. Yeah.
Yeah, but like in all honesty, though, these next gen consoles, they're not entirely next gen anymore. Especially with the announcement of Scorpio.
They are now current gen, but everybody still calls them next gen because it's just
next gen is gonna be NX.
Next gen is gonna be the NX to 4.5.
The Scorpio and the 4K, the Neo or whatever they're gonna call it.
What's the Scorpio again? Is that Microsoft? Or?
Yeah, that's the Xbox.
Yeah. So it's gonna be like Xbox Scorpio.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Or Xbox S for short.
Yeah, but
yeah, I don't know.
As much as news that there hasn't really been too much that has gone on. Right?
I mean, no, not really. I mean, like, since you don't want to talk much on Overwatch because you're tapped out.
I mean, I'm not going to talk much about it because I definitely have not been looking as much into it as you have, I would say. So if you want to talk about that, you can go ahead. We got about 9 minutes until we hit an hour.
Well, yeah,
but we can still talk.
I guess in short version, Overwatch, we got a new character announcement named Ana. Basically, almost every speculation was correct about the new character in theory, being a support sniper, with the exception of two things. She doesn't deal high damage, so she is not the strongest sniper in the game, like people speculated.
Yeah.
And her name isn't Sombra, it's Ana. Mm-hmm. But it's still Pharah's mother.
Yeah.
So that's all been confirmed. We've seen gameplay. PC users played her on the test server. On console, I fear she's going to be more useless than Zenyatta, in all honesty.
Just because of aiming in this high speed.
Aiming. Yeah, specifically aiming. And, console players are still 99% trash because they don't know how to listen to their teammates. So it's like, if it's one thing I noticed from playing Overwatch is that your teammates run away from support. So sniping your own teammate is going to be almost impossible with the console version.
And PC still might have a problem, just not as much because you kind of get rid of that aiming problem, but they're still going to run away from you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And she's got no movement abilities, so she can't get elevated. She can't get a vantage point unless she plays with like a Mei or something.
I do think that they did that specifically just because they want you to be just in the back lines in a place that you can still retreat from, but still be able to easily heal your allies. They want you to find that.
The biggest problem though with that is like being a sniper. If she gets confronted, she's dead.
That's why she stays in the back where she can't be confronted.
And that's another thing. Is like Tracer gets back there, no problem. Roadhog, Reinhardt charges back there, no problem. Even if you are in the back, Tracer's gonna get over there.
Yeah.
Widowmaker's gonna snipe you.
I think she would at least.
Hanzo would too.
But just because of how much damage, like some of the other support characters, I do think that she might not do much damage, but she will at least have enough that she could possibly deal with a Tracer without it being too unfair.
Well, the thing is, she'd have to be able to hit the Tracer first. Widowmaker already has a problem with hitting Tracer.
True.
And Widowmaker can get elevation, so she can get a jump on Tracer, per se. However, being on the ground, your chances of being spotted are 10 times easier. In all honesty, she seems like a support who's going to need support.
Right.
Like protection, in all honesty.
Yeah.
She has an average rate of 1 shot per second, I think. Or is it 1 shot per 2 seconds?
No, it might be 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, because I know when I've seen her shoot back to back, it's got a pause time and then she shoots again. So it's like, it's not going to be an unfair. Like, if she had like an SMG that healed her teammates, that would be hilarious. Just rapid fire mode.
Just like 3 health per second, though.
Hey, it's
or 3 health per bullet.
Drops a clip. And there you go, heal. Next, run around. But the problem is, like I said, no movement ability, which is kind of odd. I would think she'd at least get some kind of climbing or something.
Yeah, but now that I think about it, there are a lot
racist.
A lot of ability.
Japanese parkour.
Well, a lot of the characters do have a lot of movement based abilities. Or I think I could think of definitely 15 characters off the top of my head that have a movement-based ability. The only ones that I can think of that don't are Torbjorn, Zenyatta,
Roadhog,
Symmetra, Roadhog, yeah, and Junkrat.
I mean, technically, Symmetra has a teleporter.
Well, Junkrat does have one because his mind can boost him up.
Yes, Symmetra has a teleporter.
But that's not really movement. That's just a teleporter that can still be destroyed, and it's her ult. It's not.
I'm saying, like, you could put it on top of a roof.
I mean, yeah, but the thing is that it's not an effective multi-use movement. That's just what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But yeah, a lot of characters do have some sort of movement. So
I think it's just odd that she doesn't have one and she's a sniper.
Yeah.
Because like a sniper should have a higher position because ground cover in this game sucks.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Ground cover is trash.
That's why we have a tank that is the ground cover with his shield, aka Reinhardt.
Yep.
He is the ground cover.
Pretty much. It seems like she's going to be on top of the payload. But as it stands, when she comes to console, I feel like she's going to take Zenyatta's place as inferior support. Because at the end of the day, Mercy got a buff. So Mercy's still just going to be one of the top picked next to Lucio on support.
Right.
And it's like other buffs consist of Diva and her super being stronger. Wow.
DTR.
Yeah, her super being stronger. And that's not it's not fair. And she's got the defense matrix thing where it's a toggle now. And there's that. So she's basically a Reinhardt now.
So it doesn't have a cooldown, right?
No. It's a toggle now.
But she can she shoot with it on?
No.
Alright.
It's basically Reinhardt. Except she's more mobile than him.
Can't stop the healing Overwatch song. Sorry, I'm just looking at Battle.net.
Yeah, it's just like that. That's what we got. And then Soldier 76 got a slight nerf where he can't snipe anymore, basically, as consistently. Right. Because I guess people thought that was unfair. Somehow. I don't see why that was a big problem, personally. Who? Soldier 76.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like, so that's what's been going on. I'm going to try out Anna, but I feel like I'm not going to enjoy playing as her, to be honest.
Right.
She's one of those characters where first of all, she's a support character who's I'm gonna say she's specifically one 1p1 support, where she can only support one player at a time, and is not good at supporting the group entirely.
All right.
Like she's gonna have to pick a specific target, because even her ultimate is like a single target thing for your allies. And you pick an ally and you just make them godlike.
Yeah, I'm actually going to check out a little bit more of Anna here because I actually have not read up anything.
I think she looks cool.
Definitely. She has a sleep dart and a biotic grenade. Oh, that's actually pretty nice.
Yeah, from what I've heard about her sleep dart, PC players say it's hard to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly.
Well, it says that any damage will rouse them. So maybe they're just not doing it at the right moment. They're hitting it, and then somebody else is shooting them.
Yes, the sleep dart is supposed to give somebody the chance to set up and do something devastating.
Yeah. So yeah, biotic rifle. So let's see, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. 1 does seem about 1.5 per second. Sleep dart puts them to sleep. Biotic grenade.
It stops you from healing.
Right. Biotic grenade definitely does look very, very useful. Being able to shoot a AOE heal. So now Lucio isn't the only one that can heal multiple people. And Nano Boost definitely. I mean, I do not think that it is as powerful as it is. I think they just artificially lowered the health of the people that they had Reinhardt hit in this little
no, he just hit small people. Like, if you saw it, he hit, like, Tracer.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, Tracer has 150 HP.
Well, and so Reaper has about 200 health, right?
I think it's 250.
250?
Yeah.
And then she took 4 shots. I'm thinking that she does about, like, he was, after the 3 shots, she was left with 10 health, it looked like. So, like, she might be doing, like, 80 points of damage per hit.
Yeah, probably.
So she can...
Against Tracer, she would still die then.
Yeah, 2 shots would kill her, but Tracer can just recall easily and just jump around. I guess it will end up...
That rate of fire is too slow.
Yeah, it is too slow to easily get through that, but she can probably hit the ground with the grenade to heal herself at the same time.
No, the grenade doesn't heal. What the grenade did is it increases healing effects for your partners. And it stops healing effects for your enemies.
No, it deals damage to enemies and heals allies in a small area. Yeah.
It says, we're talking about the biotic grenade, right?
Yeah. Tosses a biotic bomb that deals damage to enemies and heals allies in a small area of effect.
Does it heal herself though?
It doesn't show. It's not shown. But there always
How
is
many
a
supports actually have a self heal?
Lucio?
Yeah, he has a self heal. Any other? I know Roadhog has a self heal, and Soldier 76 has a team heal.
Lucio is the only support with a self heal. No, and Zenyatta because of his ult.
Screw Zenyatta. He's still trash.
When does he get in that update though?
Like, please, because he needs it. Yeah, so like Overwatch though, I like it. It's fun, but I still think it needs more content.
Definitely.
Speaking of content,
self-healing abilities can now charge ultimate abilities.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there is a possibility that it's being done also because of Ana. So because she can heal herself just so that she doesn't I
thought they did it because I thought they should have always done something like that. I honestly do feel like Soldier 76 example. I feel like if he's healing, if he's using an ability, it should increase.
No, he when he heals other people, he still gets charged, but he doesn't when it's just him.
Yeah, now he does.
Right. The ultimate cost for Bastion has been increased by 10%. That's not going to help much with Bastion.
Especially since he can just self-heal to fill up his super.
But I mean, exactly. Still, I don't understand what they're doing with Diva.
They're basically making her more of a... Like, from what I hear, I'm really good with Diva. But from what I hear, a lot of people say she's not good at her role as being a tank. And it's because she can get dropped too easily out of her tank.
But I mean, that's the point.
Yeah, they say she's not a good tank. But she is a tank character.
Her suit is the tank. She can get killed outside of the tank easily because that's not the tank.
No, what the problem is, they say that the tank itself doesn't last long enough. Like, for example, Roadhog can take a shit ton of damage and self-heals. That's how he can tank things. Plus, he has a stun and high damage output. Makes him a good tank.
Yeah.
Reinhardt has his barrier, which makes him an extremely good tank. Winston has his shield and a Tesla cannon that can hit multitudes of enemies at the same time, making him a good tank. But then Diva, Defense Matrix lasted like 2 seconds and had a 10-second cooldown, meaning she couldn't really defend herself. And the tank, whenever you saw Diva, first of all, her headshot hitbox is extremely large in the mech, meaning that tank is dropped in a matter of 2 seconds. Mostly, with no defensive ability that's useful aside from running away.
Alright.
And she does low damage.
The thing is that, well,
her super.
I understand all that, but why would they do this to her ultimate? They made it so much more powerful.
It's easier to fill up. It's harder to run away from.
And she doesn't need to hide anymore.
Yeah, the super.
She jumps out of the tank, well, you guys are trying to run away from the. Well, the enemy is trying to run away from that suit that she most likely has flung at you, because that's, if you're not throwing the suit at them to make sure that they can't get away from it as easily, what are you doing playing D.Va? I mean, she can just be still standing there. She can be shooting at people to recharge that tank already.
This is what I found funny. I just read this. It says, we've also given Self-Destruct a little more oomph, because it felt slightly underwhelming when compared to many of Overwatch's other ultimate abilities. And I'm like, how? 9 times out of 10, when I see playing a game with D.Va, it's because that thing one-shotted the entire room. I'm like, that super is the strongest in the game. Is it not? Doesn't it deal 1,000 damage?
Yes, it deals.
It's killing literally everybody.
I literally saw a play of the game where a D.Va shot it over a wall into right outside the enemy's spawn point and got a team kill. It killed all 6 of the enemy. Every one of them.
Exactly. It's already hard enough to evade. So I'm sitting there like, why are you going to say that it felt underwhelming? What is underwhelming about her ultimate ability? Other than the fact that it kills herself.
It is one of the biggest present. The reason why she is also not chosen as a tank that often is because she is going to be focused down so much easier. Reinhardt, his ultimate is pretty devastating if you get knocked down, but only if he's with other people and if he hits multiple people with it. Because I mean, if you knock multiple people down and you have like a Pharah out, or a Junkrat, their explosions will definitely cause a lot of people to these people that can't do anything.
Let me just put this out there. Do you think D.Va's not a good tank? What about Zarya? Zarya is a shit tank.
Yeah, they pretty much
shield lasts a second and a half.
No, it's 2 seconds.
It feels like a second and a half.
But the thing is, they're substituting her utility as a tank for the damage, because her passive is that as the shields take damage, she gets an increase. As the shields take damage, her ability.
But the problem is she's getting dropped in 2 shots by a lot of people.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I'm going at. Is that she isn't a tank. She's a utility character.
Exactly. So it's like, she shouldn't count as a tank. And I actually find this statement odd itself, where it says D.Va isn't being selected as often as our other tanks. And I find that extremely odd, because I almost always see a D.Va.
And I never see a Zarya.
Maybe not competitive.
Zarya. The only time I've seen Zarya being used is against AI.
And the only time I've seen Zarya is when it was an extremely good. You have to be extremely good at that character to play her. But it's like D.Va, first of all, let's be honest. When you do see D.Va, 9 times out of 10, she does good. So she didn't actually need a buff just because people weren't picking her. But let's be honest, people didn't pick her. If they didn't pick her, it's because Reinhardt's shield, as a tank, Reinhardt is probably the best one.
Because combining with his shield, that is about 2,500 health.
But how many abilities does Reinhardt actually fucking have? He has a projectile that does a flat 150 damage.
Yeah.
And that's killing Tracer.
Killing Tracer in one shot.
He's got the pin move.
The pin that does 50 damage on hit, and then another 300 when he hits a wall.
It's a good movement ability as well. I used it to get over the pit, for example.
And I haven't uploaded the clip yet, but there was a situation where I grabbed a Mercy right after she ulted and choke slammed her off of a cliff into a wall, and then landed back down on my 2 feet, and then managed to hit the enemy team from behind.
Not only that, his barrier has a whopping 2,000 absorption. 2,000. That's insane. And it recharges super fast.
It recharges at 50. I think either 50 or 75 points per second when he's not using it.
Oh no, it's way faster than that. I've had that barrier break, and in 4 seconds, it's at full HP again, ready to go. And it can block certain ults too.
Also,
Reimer's just really good. If anything, the reason he's being picked more often is because that barrier is good on payload.
Yeah, one thing that I definitely am looking at these upcoming changes, I don't understand this McCree change. Peacekeeper now maintains full damage at longer distances, but will have less damage at extreme ranges. What?
It just means extreme range is basically sniper range.
But
long distance is sniper range too. I guess when they say extreme distances, they basically mean like all the way, like if you barely see them, but you just spray and pray.
Mm-hmm.
Lucio got a slight nerf, in which his ult costs more to use, I guess.
Alright. Though Mercy does look like she's received a good buff that I can kind of agree with. The bonus damage increased from 30% to 50%, which might be a bit too good for certain characters, but the effect no longer stacks. Resurrect, the cost is increased by 30%, though I think that was fine as it was already, honestly.
What did you say?
The recharge cost increasing by 30%. I mean, I thought that it was long enough as it was. Like this
for Mercy's Resurrect.
Yeah,
I agree. In all honesty, I agree with that because
being able to move with it definitely does help.
I don't think so. And the main reason is, as a Mercy main, I've never been killed rezzing people because I don't. It's so literally. I'm saying you're stuck for 1 second.
But no, that was longer than 1 second that she was stuck there for.
I mean, like nowadays it only seems like 1 second, and you're supposed to do it like behind cover. You're supposed to do it behind a wall or something.
Yeah.
Or for me, I do it midair. I jump, glide, and then revive. And then I Guardian Angel out of the frame.
Yeah.
That's what I tend to do. Increasing our ultimate charge cost by 30% actually might be a little significant for Mercy play.
Yeah, but the Guardian Angel, I also don't think that was really necessary. Because I mean, it's got resets. Yeah, I mean, doesn't it already have like charges anyways?
Guardian Angel?
Yeah.
No. It has a 2-second cooldown.
So I mean, it's
basically
pretty much
she's able to fly.
All of a sudden, all this is really doing is she can now jump over towards somebody, resurrect everybody, and then jump out. That's all they're allowing her to do.
Is basically fly. Yeah. Fly to wherever her allies are. No matter what, she doesn't have to wait. And that's another thing. That basically means that officially gives Mercy more airtime than Pharah.
Yeah, but Roadhog...
Officially.
I'm a bit sorry for Roadhog. That ultimate cost increased by 45%.
That shit is kind of OP, though.
I mean... Yeah, but, I mean, it was... I think...
It already took long enough, though.
Yeah, I think 20% would have been fair. 45% almost makes it so that he'll die before he can even get to use it at any point. Like, just like, as soon as you engage for the first time, he'll die, and he'll last for a long time, but he's still going to die before he can even get to use it the first time.
On his first life?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I mean, like, I like killing Roadhogs on the back anyway.
The spread recovery for the heavy pulse rifle, spread recovery will begin after a short delay rather than instantly.
Basically, it's just a nerf on his range. Not on his range accuracy. He used to be able to snipe Pharahs from the sky.
Yeah, with what is it? This with the pulse bomb grenade or?
It's the pulse rifle.
Is it the alternate? I mean,
no. Basically, if you tap the trigger instead of holding it, it kind of just does a short burst fire.
Okay.
Kind of. Tactical visor increase by 10%. I would have increased that by like 30, to be honest. That shit is annoying on console.
Yeah, because aimbot. It just becomes aimbot at that point. Zenyatta has had a bit of a buff, but that's still not going to be enough.
Projectile speed increased from 30 to 120.
I mean,
yeah, that's kind of interesting.
I mean, it's interesting,
but at the same time, it's not enough.
I mean,
he's still getting one shot at by Widowmaker.
Well, 200 health now.
Yeah, one shot at by Widowmaker. 300 damage.
But I mean, so is
And he's still slow without the movement of his ult.
well, movement speed is now doubled, and healing increased from 200 to 300 healing per second. So
His ult is basically godlike.
Yeah, especially because he can't be touched.
But still, outside of his ult, that's still saying rely on Zenyatta's ult or Zenyatta's trash still.
Yeah. Yeah, the ultimate was designed to be most effective against sustained high damage fire and least effective against short high damage burst. But due to the amount of healing it provided, there were times where it was possible for even sustained fire to overcome Transcendence's output. I mean, I guess for what they're going for, this does work, but it's just not. It's not. He's not going to be viable.
But that's the problem. This character's entire play is
not
his
viable.
ult. It's like if he doesn't have his ult, he's not viable. With his ult, he's temporarily viable for like what, 4 seconds?
The only time that I can actually see him being viable is if he is unnoticed completely, because the increase of damage taken and the bit of health can help characters like a Bastion or a Soldier 76.
But here's the problem. His Orb of Discord is useless.
Yeah.
At this point.
I mean,
to be honest, because if you break his line of sight, it's gone.
Yeah, definitely.
And his healing is useless. If you break his line of sight, it's gone.
I mean, the only thing that I can think that they could have done to actually make him better was just make it so that he has like short bursts of invulnerability.
Yeah, what I think they should have did with Zenyatta is they're going to make him this way. He should have just been a tank support. And what I mean is he should be a tank style character with heavy HP and shielding and support with the same support style that he has.
But almost like no damage output.
I say keep his damage output, but make him a tank support. I just say, in all honesty, Zenyatta needs like 400 HP at least to be viable. Definitely. Especially since he's slower than Zarya. He's the slowest character in the game. And that just makes him an easy sniper target.
Maybe he stops fucking floating and actually uses his feet for once. He could be faster.
Yeah, it's like he's just not good.
Yeah.
And the problem is, the biggest problem I have is they clearly don't see why he's not good.
Oh, the payload on King's Road will no longer retreat back to its starting location if the attacking team fails to push it.
Wait, what?
It's no longer going to be able to be pushed back on King's Row.
Wait, that's stupid though.
Well, to be fair, King's Row is the only one with 2 stop points.
Is that the one that's got the super long?
Yeah, it's only got 2 stop points before you get to the end. The others have like 5 or 6. So
that makes sense.
I can understand on King's Row, because that's a long road to go between stops. All right, but
let's make it more fair.
Yeah, definitely. But I do think that will be all for today. I think we've got enough. I think we've talked about enough that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, sounds about good. Sums it all up.
So yeah, that was our 10th episode. How do you feel about this? 10 episodes, still only 2 subscribers. I mean, I don't care. I mean, as long as if one person can watch this all the way to the end and have enjoyed it, I'm fine with that.
Same here. Well, this is Jostar.
This is Wolf.
Signing out of Game Diaries.
Later.